Hello, lovely Dylusionists. Come into the studio. How are you? Do you know what? I've been looking for this glove. I'm going to put this glove on and see if it helps. Sometimes I wear these when I'm sewing. It's a little bit of compression. I've been looking for it and I've just spotted it hanging up. Anyway, I don't know what day it is. Is it day, hang on, is it day 4? Is it day 5? It could be day 5, couldn't it? Let me think. We did canvas the first day, baby wipe technique the second day, blocking the third day, doodling, yeah, 4th day, 5th day. So we're going to do doodling again today, and I've already painted the box for you because yesterday's video went on and on and on, didn't it? I'm sorry about that. I didn't realise how long it was, so I thought I'll paint the box. I've decided to go for Fiery Sunset. Okay, so I painted the box, and then do you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add Fiery Sunset onto here. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to put some out. I don't normally do it. Normally I use whatever's left on the blending tool, but I just totally forgot during the day. So let's add some Fiery Sunset on. We might just have one more colour on here. I don't know. You can put as many colours as you want on these boxes, but it just annoys me that I've had to go and put extra when normally I just use what's there. But that's okay. I think that's enough of that. Maybe I'll have one there as well. Okay, and then we'll add some onto this one. So normally it's a clean up, and it's ended up not being a clean up, but that's fine. Yeah, because yes, you can do this on purpose as well. I quite often do this at the end when I've been teaching a class and I go round and I have to take all the foams off. And I quite often will have a journal and just keep adding circles on things. So there we go. Gosh, it's warm in here tonight. I don't know. What is English weather? I know some people put the heating on 2 days ago because it was so cold. I'm not a cold person, so you don't often see me with the heating on. But I know loads of people put the heating on. And now we're having to get the fans back out the loft. It's like just British weather, I don't know. Anyway, so there we go. We've got more of that. Pop that in. I think I'm just going to have one more. Actually, that might be enough. I think that might be enough. That might be my next. That might be my next video. Anyway, so we have this box. And as I say, I used Fiery Sunset. I was trying to think what colours I hadn't used. And I hadn't really used any greens yet. So maybe I need to do something green. But I popped Fiery Sunset in. So I am going to do the top and the bottom slightly differently. This is the top. On the bottom, I am going to use Retro Grid. And I'm actually going to do that in black paint. Which is the bottom. Yeah. On the top, I'm going to use dot grid and I'm going to doodle it. Probably won't do this all in one video, but on the top I'm going to use dot grid. I'm going to doodle it, and then on the sides here, because I don't want the stencil to go over, so on the sides I'm going to use shutters, and I'm going to use small shutters with paint. So I'm going to add paint here. Now with my gammy hand it could go everywhere, but let's see what we do. So I'm going to use my black marble paint. I've got the same blending tool, just soften it because I haven't used it since yesterday. So I'm just going to soften it, and I'm going to do the sides first. As I say, I don't know what on earth's going to happen with my hand. I'm probably going to make a right mess of it, but here we go. So we'll do all the sides first, and then I'll add the black on the top, and then we'll doodle the other one, and then I'll probably doodle these black bits tomorrow, if you see what I mean. So, okay. It's going to go on the side there. So far, so good. I bet I'm out of camera, aren't I? Oh, no, I'm all right. I'm in. Sorry. And then I'm just going to put one extra there. Okay. And then I'm just going to go round. Here we go. Thank you for all your lovely comments about my hand, because I was like, oh, should I put off doing this series? But your lovely comments have made me glad I persevered through, so thank you. Thank you for any comment, but any lovely comments about my hand have been very, very appreciated. Okay, so I'm just going round and round. When I'm stenciling, I usually do a circular, oops, I'm going to move it up once I can get this ending. I usually do a circular motion, but however you want to do it. Okay, and then the last one. They're always more awkward, but they're fun. They look good. They look so good. Okay, so I'm just going to pop my fan on. Oh, something just fell off the desk. One moment. Oh, maybe this fan. Oh, I've got two fans plugged in. Let's try this fan. It can be a little bit noisy, so I'm just going to pop it over there. There we go. I don't know what fell off my desk. It was something heavy by the sound of it. Right, so let's do this one. Let me get a bit more black. Never put too much paint on, because you just don't, if it's seeped underneath, every now and again, just check there is nothing there, but just do that on the back, because if it seeps underneath your stencil, it's going to be a right mess. And especially black. You don't want black seeping underneath, because it's the struggle to resurrect it. There we go. A bit more. Let's do the top. I am going to do one episode which is just for dandelions. So if you're a member of the Dandelion Club, you will get an exclusive box decorating video. Oops. Just this bit and one more side to do. And then we can get back to flat. Am I relieved? Oh, my hand's going already. Even if you just did this, how cool does just something like this look? And if this is too fatty, you could take a big fat Posca pen and draw them on. I know I will look back at these videos in the future and think, what on earth? But, you know, so let's just wet that. And let's clean all that off. Always clean the back of your stencil as well. If you clean it straight away, it should come off. Oh, let's get that fan going. Okay, so, and as usual, I pop it away straight away. Somehow I've ended up with two there, look. I've got one large, two small, but that's okay. So, the top, that's the top, that's going to have the small, the bottom is going to have this one on. So this is retrograde, this stencil. And I'm only going to stencil like this part of it. So, I think that looks about even, doesn't it? Do you think that's about even? Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so a little bit more black. And again, a nice circular motion. And then I'm going to turn it round to do the other side, okay, because it's just easier to hold it in my hand this way. Okay, a little bit more. You'll notice I only put a little bit of paint at the time because you just don't want it seeping underneath at all. Okay. And you'll notice I sort of paint it and then I go back because that first coat will be dry and then you get this lovely crisp look. So again, la 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 la, just have a bit of water. I clean everything. If you're new to me, I like things clean. I know there's lots and lots of people who don't clean the stencils, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't bother me what you do with your stencils, but my stencils have to be clean. I do a lot of doodling. I use a lot of ink through the stencils. I don't want to lose the definition of the shape. So for me, they need to be clean. Okay, and I'm terrible. I put everything away. I clean up and put away. Okay, so this is going to one side now, and I'll probably do that in the next video. I'll do the sides and that in the next video because it did overrun and it's a long time to be watching somebody, isn't it? And now I'm going to go with dot grid. This stencil is called dot grid. And again, I'm just going to sort of position it about there, I think. If I do that, I can get that top row and this row. And it's about even on the sides. Yes. Now you could put a piece of tape down there. I don't. I just take my pen and go in. So I'm just going to find a black. It's 0.7. It's the 1MR Uniposca. Again, I'll probably do this side and then turn it. And I tend to keep my hand in the same position. So can you see I'm doing them all in that row. I just find it easier to keep my hand in the same position. So if I was doing, I would have to turn it like this all the time, and I'm not. I'm just doing all these downward ones. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it round, and if the stencil moves, that's okay. Look, you just move it back into position. My hand has to be comfortable when I'm doing a lot of doodling and things, so that, to me, that's the most important thing. Whereas if you're swapping your hand around all the time, then it's difficult. Okay, so that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it slightly. Have I moved it? Hang on. There we go. That's was better. Okay, and then I'm going to come this way, because the last one we did with paint because I wanted it solid, but this one I don't want solid. This one I am actually going to doodle. Your stencils are not just for paint and backgrounds, etc. They're for doing, you know, all sorts with. And a lot of my stencils are designed especially to be multi-purpose. And I like a paint pen. You could use a gel pen, but the thing is, a gel pen quite often rubs off. And these boxes, we're going to be using them on and off. You know, we're going to be lifting the lids on, using them as trays, etc. Okay. And then you could, do, if you want to do the centres, I'll put the centres in this one. So I'm just going to go in. You don't always have to draw the centre in. And then we're just going to go to town and doodle this. Just move that however you want to. As I say, I'm probably going to do a few small, shorter videos, then my hand doesn't get so bad and you don't have to sit through it. So this box and lid will be done in 2 separate sessions. There we go. Okay. This is where I usually, when I find out I've missed something, but that's okay. Let's have that one there. You can just hand draw them in. I would normally hand draw that, but I've sort of done, you know, like these for ages. So here we go, and we're going to do something quite simple, I think. So if we get the middle, we've got one whole middle there, and then we've got a full 1.5 one. So I'm going to start in the middle, and in the middle, can you see this line here? I am going to zigzag inside this. So I'm just doing these 2 in the centre. If you're a beginner, do everything the same, and then you won't get confused. But okay. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to come back the opposite way, but you can see I'm just doing a really simple zigzag in there. I'm not bothered if it goes out the lines. And can you see I'm doing that stripe up the centre? Okay, so that stripe there. So then there's either side I'm going to leave separate. So now I'm just going to do the end. And again, because I like my hand to be in the same position, I'm skipping every other one. Okay, way, and then I'm going to go the opposite way. And it depends how big your box is. If you have a slightly bigger box, you might have full, you know, like that's a full line, that's a half line. You might have full lines in a bigger box, but I haven't on this one, so I'm starting in the centre. Okay. Okay, you see there? So I've got this centre one, and then I'm left with these here. And like I said before, you could do them all the same, it's not a problem. But what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put circles in. So I'm going to put a big one in the centre and a small one either side. So a big one in the centre and then a small one either side. Okay. And that's just for balance. You do your centre one first and then the others will fit. And every time I do this, I do a different pattern. I just change something. And the pen will dry really quick. Okay, and then I'm going to go the other way. So the middle and the two ends is zigzag. And the surface, honestly, two coats of paint, the surface is so smooth to put your to doodle on. And it's so important, is that the quality of the paint on the surface and the surface of the actual box itself. And like I said yesterday, if you make a complete muck of it, paint it black. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with these ones is I'm going to bring another line out either side. Okay, so I'm just going to bring another line out. Oops, make them fatter. I could have left it as it was, but I'm going to add and so then I'll do it on the outside ones as well, whatever I do to that centre one. So just follow the pattern. So if you are a member, if you're wondering about becoming a member of my Dandelion Club, that's my subscription-based club where you pay a monthly fee and then you get videos like this all the time. You get minimum 2 videos a week. We do some downloads, we do hints and tips, we do shopping hauls, and you have the equivalent of a class every month. When I say the equivalent, it's because I don't always get time every month. So sometimes instead of 1 class, you'll get a 2-day class instead. So, you know, if I've missed a month, I'll always bulk it up and you get all that for the price. And the videos, they're just there. Obviously, you can stop at any time, but then you don't get access to the videos. But at the moment, they're there. Can you see? So then what I'm going to do with these, I'm going to get a fatter Posca pen. I don't know. Let me just test what size spots this is. Let's have a look. Not sure if that's going to be too big. Oh no, that's okay. So I'm going to add spots in that gap, okay? Now, just be careful and don't press down with your, because you'll end up with a big blob. So I'm just lightly touching the pen. Again, I usually start in the middle, I don't know why. Okay, and I'm just adding Can I just give a big shout out as well to Emmy, who edits all my videos, gets my head out of the way, and thank you, Emmy. Don't know what I'd do without you. And if you enjoy them, like and subscribe, and then you'll be, because it's September, it's coming up to the big C. Last year I did 31, the year before I think I did 24 days, and then not 24, did I do 12 days? And then last year I did 25 days of Christmas. So I quite often put little series on if I've got something new out. For example, when I brought out the rocks, I have an 8-part series telling you all about the rocks and the diamond range, so the rocks and the pebbles and the dust. I also do classes where we go through everything in classes, but these are just little freebie videos for everybody to see. This pen, by the way, is probably too fat for this, but this is a 5M. I have every size in every colour. I'm terrible. But you could use a 3M would be absolutely fine to do this. Just make sure it's juicy so you don't have to press down. If you think, oh, it's running, go press on a piece of card, because if you press down, it will just blot. And dots take longer to dry than outlines. So okay. Oh, I thought I'd got some on me then. I love dots and lines. And again, what am I doing in my head? Dots and dots and dots and dots and dots. Yes, I am. Now, this could have been on a black box. I was going to do on a black box in today's video, but and I prepped a black box ready. Look at that, all prepped ready, and then Jay fell over air and crushed the box. So I've just glued it with my wonderful Dylusions glue, and I'm holding it, so That'll appear in a different version. And I said, what did you fall over? And she went, air. I just fell over air. I do that all the time. She says, I didn't trip over anything. I just fell over air and landed on your box. Fair enough. We will mend it. I'm surprised she didn't actually crush it. That shows you how strong the boxes are actually, because oh, I've missed one at the bottom, because a normal box would have just been crushed. Okay, so just this end to do. I'm just waiting for that to dry a little. Yeah, you'll notice I always start. I just think you get more even if you do start in the middle, whatever size you're doing. It just evens it out better. Or maybe that's just all in my head. Oh, I've missed another one, look, you see? La, 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 la. Don't do dots on an aeroplane. You will regret it. Ask me how I know. Last bit. Last one actually. Always keep your doodling really simple. Then you don't get fed up doing it and you'll get it finished. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to colour these ones in. So I might as well use this pen, but again, don't press. Ranger has sells Posca pens now, and they have, I've used them for like 28 years, but Ranger actually sell them on their website. Excuse me. And they sell the 1MR, and then in sets they sell the 3M, the 5M. In sets. They've got metallics, they've got the pastels, they've got black and white sets. So if you are in the US, they're a really good place to get them from. Okay, and then we'll do this side, because that's the biggest question I get. Ben's in the UK, Ben has them all, but the biggest question I used to get in America was, where do you get your Posca pens from? And eventually Ranger gave in and started selling them. And of course I have to have them all. I think you saw my stash the other day. Where's the other one? This one is all 3Ms. This bag is all 5M. When I'm talking about the higher 1, 3, 5, the nibs get bigger and bigger, so these are all 5Ms. I also have some 7 and 8s for when I do really big stuff, but I think there's even bigger than that. And again, it's paint. We're putting paint on paint. It's going to dry quickly, and we can go on top of this paint as well. There we go. Okay. So then, you know, I did a double line there. I'm going to do a double line on these as well. So it's slightly opposite. On these I did the dots in the outer lines, and in this one I've done it in the inner lines. A stencil is just somewhere to start, you know, if you're not sure where to start, that's what my stencil is for. Oops. Okay, let's do this one. And then what I'm going to do in these outside, where I'm drawing the bigger ones, I think I'm going to do the zigzag that I put in the centre. So we've done the complete opposite. Okay. So I think, yes, I'm just going to do a little zigzag around. Nothing, I don't do anything difficult because I can't be bothered. Life's too short to do difficult things. And anybody can do a zigzag, can't they? We can all do a zigzag. You've noticed, if I go out the line, I'm not bothered. I don't care. To me, it's the process. It's the doing of it. It's not necessarily what it looks like. Okay. So let's do this side. Oh, so satisfying. honestly, headphones on, listen to a really good book, get one side of your brain working, doodle, get the other side of your brain working, both sides of your brain working together. You can't have a panic attack, you can't have a manic attack. It's just, I haven't been able to doodle for weeks, so this is just heavenly. I have been sewing though. When I say doodle is one side of your brain, anything that you do, sew, knit, that is the same thing. So I've been sewing really badly. I've looked as though I'm sewing with a knitting needle. But it don't matter. I just have to be doing. I'm never bothered what it looks like. I just have to be doing. Okay, that one just needs going over. All right. And then I put these circles in, so let's do something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a teardrop up, a teardrop down. When I say teardrop, it starts at a point and just comes out. So one up, one down, one up, one down. Okay, and I'm going to do that on all of the rows. So let's try. Let's start here. One up, one down, one up, one down, one down. And again, you see, that's in my head. That's what I'm saying in my head. One up, one down. I'm sure some of you must be like that as well, and the rest of you will be like, what on earth is she going on about? See, it's repetition. That's the secret. Simple things repeated is so good for your brain and your mental health. My mental health is more important to me than physical health, really. I really strive to get my mental health on par after years of it not being on par. Okay? And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to go the opposite way. So again, just one up, one down. Repetition. And, you know, not turning my hand. Can you see my hand is in the same position all the time, therefore it's comfy. Again, turn it so it's comfy. I like I don't like to do this when my hand isn't on the box, so I turn it so my hand is resting on the box. And this could have been a black box, a white doodling, black box with coloured doodling, any coloured box. That's it. Oops. Okay, and then I'm going to do the centres of all of those black. Sometimes I'll do the petals black, but I'm going to do the centres black. I'm going to put this box here to lean on because this is wet, so I can't spin it so quick. Oh! There we go. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave it at that for now, because that needs to really dry, because I'm going to go in with another colour and add. But if I can show you, so this is what we did on the bottom, and this is what I've done on the top. So tomorrow, the next video, I'm going to finish the doodling on here, and I'm going to add some doodling to here, because all of this black will be nice and dry, ready to go. Okay, see you next time. Bye.